And we are live, I believe. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome to another live stream. It is July 12th, 2023 at 5:37 p.m. Here Canadian-wise. So welcome everybody to the stream. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. This is going to be a very quick stream, probably about less than an hour, only because we're prepping for G-Fest this weekend, and I have to be ready to go because we're going to be taking off relatively quickly. So once we get a few people in, we're going to discuss what the plan is with G-Fest on my end and what you can expect and so on. So hello, Anthony Sarkis. Hello, YMF Studios. Good to see you guys here. So hey Dad, good to see you. Hi Mr. Sponge Plus, good to see you here. Got a few people here. Wow, 11 people. Kaiju fan, good to see you. So just to give you guys a bit of a heads up of what's happening, greetings from space from Deacon Kern, Starmaster 96, Skullman. Welcome everybody. So just to give you guys obviously the rules of the stream very quickly. Please do not ask for requests. If you ask your same question more than 3 times, you will be discarded. On top of that, super chats are always welcome, and please keep things civil. So just want to get those out of the way. And yes, Pokemon fan, I know about the Godzilla thing. I've already said my piece. Go look at my social media, and you can find out what I think. So don't ask me about requests. Don't ask me about pitches right now. I just want to keep things pretty simple this stream. So just to let you guys know what's happening. So we're going to be here for a little less than an hour because I do have some things I have to do tonight. Plus, I have to prep for G-Fest. So I'm prepping for G-Fest. I'm going to start packing after this. And I should let you guys know a little bit of a little good bad news. I'm still coming to G-Fest. However, I should point out I'm only going to be there for about a day and a half. That is because my buddy Josh, who's driving us, unfortunately, might be working Friday, which means that either if he's not working, we'll be taking off first thing in the morning, and then if he is working, we're going to be doing a night drive. So and it's an 8-hour drive. So we are going from Ontario to Chicago. So we're going to be a little bit tired on the Friday. So we don't know if we're going to make the Friday events. I know there is a 90th anniversary of Kong thing happening at G-Fest. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that. However, for those who are going to be attending, please send me a warm welcome in my stead if I am not there. Just let people know I am on my way. So there's that. But on top of that, I'm going to be there probably for about a day and a half. So that means all of Saturday and half of Sunday because we do have to head home a little early due to the fact that Josh has to work. So, just bear that in mind while I'm there, that the main things now is that we are going to be in a very greasy schedule. We're going to be white knuckling, meaning everything we absolutely need to film at G-Fest, to do at G-Fest, we are going to be on that. So if fans see us working, please make sure to say hi when we are not occupied. So just to give you guys a little heads up, I can't just stop what I'm doing and talk for 20,000 hours about what my favorite thing is. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up on that we are going to be very busy filming stuff, and that's not my fault. It's just the way things are. But I should also say that the day we're shooting, which is mostly Saturday, I would like to let you guys know that I would love to have all of you guys, fans who are going to G-Fest, to participate in a couple episodes, mainly the ending to the Jurassic Park Legacy reviews. Now, I should give you guys a few instructions before I attend. I will be also posting on social media. I'll put a map out of where we're going to be, but it's more than likely we're going to be outside of the convention center. Hi, Toku Punk Productions. Good to see you. We're going to be outside the convention center, outside the building, and we're just going to do this scene at one of the gates, and it's, I'm going to be talking in front of the camera and so on. But then the last shot is I want to get a bunch of people where we're hand in hand singing a song. And I think Osiris gave me a cleaner version of the song that we can all sing that will still pick up. But I will be directing you guys, so I'll need everybody to pay attention. This isn't going to be like an outside Q&A. Maybe I'll do an outside Q&A after if you guys are interested. But yeah, a little get together with you guys would be fantastic. But any help is appreciated on the ending. We want to get as many people as we can. It's going to be a very funny ending. I'm really looking forward to shooting it. So that's going to be happening among a few other projects. I'm also going to be filming not just at Cheap Fest and doing interviews and so on. I'm also going to be going to Galloping Ghost Arcade, which is one of the biggest arcades in America. And the only reason I'm going is, again, to shoot more stuff for Jurassic Park, plus play a couple of games. They have the OG Sega Jurassic Park arcade, which I haven't played as a machine in almost a decade. So that's exciting for me. But then on top of that, the other reason we're going to be leaving a tad early and maybe even filming early in the morning for a couple things is because there is a location. I cannot tell you where, that's in Chicago, that we're going to film. Me and Josh are going to film something. And then when you see it on our social media, you'll think, ooh, they're doing that? Okay. So we'll come up with a little pitch poster and stuff. But I just want to let you guys know what the deal is so that there's no confusion of what's happening. If I look like I'm super laser focused, that you guys are like, oh, I can just walk in and talk to them. So just bear in mind, we will be very busy filming things. So if I have the crucial amount of time, I will talk to you guys because I do appreciate y'all. And shout out to a few people who are actually, like, I heard some people are already telling me, DMing me saying, hey, we want to give you a couple of gifts. So I will probably do an unboxing sort of thing after G-Fest, but do appreciate it, guys. Really, thank you so much. But yeah, I have just been so busy prepping this because a lot of stuff is counting on this event. So yeah, it's either we're going to be driving on the Friday regardless. So we're either going to be there late afternoon or 2 o'clock in the morning Saturday. So we probably won't, like, just don't count on us being there Friday, but count us being there most of Saturday and half of Sunday. So I just want to give you guys a heads up on that and so on. So thank you so much for just all the support. I cannot wait to see you guys. It's going to be great. So with that said, let's get to questions. We got a couple minutes to kill here. We also just, again, just a little update on the rules, just don't answer the same question 3 times. Also, or limit it to 3 times at least if we don't see it. Please do not ask for requests, and also keep things simple, and super chats are appreciated. So with that said, let's get started. But yeah, first things first, I should say, yes, I know about Godzilla -1. I am excited. Don't need to say any more. There you go. I know about it. I'm excited. First off, what was that one? What's the Jaws poster in the background? This is a poster for Jaws 19, which is a fake film for Back to the Future Part 2. This came with a really rad Back to the Future book. It's a coffee table book about the visual history of the trilogy, plus some other stuff, and it came with all this shit in the book. This is a book worth getting. So if you want that poster, definitely get that book. So there's that. Let's see here. I have thoughts on the Wolverine. Any thoughts on the Wolverine suit? To be honest, I'm kind of in the same position as a lot of people. I'm kind of superheroed out, but it is cool to see Hugh Jackman in the costume and with Wolverine and with Deadpool. On top of that, I do like that whole thing with the Fox logo being like abandoned. It is kind of cool and interesting. But there's that. What do you think of the sneak peek of the Allosaurus scene? Yes, Inuyasha Dinosaur 1. I have seen your novel-length voice messages. I have not had time. Again, I have not had time. I would rather honestly wait to see the final product to give my opinion and obviously not be a correspondent, in a way. But I do know about your messages. I have seen it. I would like to watch Godzilla versus Mothra, my favorite case say. Yeah, that's a decent one. Battle for Earth, it's okay. What do you think of John Wick? I've only seen the first one. It's not bad. I haven't seen the last 3 sequels. King Kong 40 years later will take place in Las Vegas. Very good. Like that idea. Very interesting. I want to meet up, but I don't want to be on camera. Well, hey, we could just, probably even use a camera guy. Like, if you don't want to be in front of the camera, if you want to do something behind the camera, that's welcome too. So there's that. Deadpool 3 is the last MCU movie. No, they got plenty more coming, but I'm just very, very picky about what I see. What is your second favorite Ray Harryhausen movie? Outside of 1,000,000 Years BC, it's probably Mighty Joe Young or The Valley of Guanji, which at some point I would like to cover. Or, you know what, Jason and the Argonauts I really like. I really like Jason and the Argonauts. Let's see here. What is your favorite theme park? My favorite is Tokyo Disneyland. Probably Universal Studios Florida. It's probably my favorite theme park just because of its history. I would like to know your top 10 favorite Simpsons episode. Oh, this is a very good question, Skullman. Thank you. I can't name my top 10 per se, but I can name some of my favorites. I'll save my favorite for the end. So I love Treehouse of Horror 3 because that has King Homer. I love Itchy and Scratchy and Marge, which is about the whole censorship, about the violent cartoons and stuff. That's because, you know, my parents were, you know, kind of anti-violent cartoons back in the day, so I could kind of relate to the kids on that level. I love any backstories with Homer and Marge's relationship. Trying to think. There was that one Treehouse of Horror that had like Bart and Lisa as superheroes, and Comic Book Guy was the collector with Lucy Lawless. I do like that one. Anything with Comic Book Guy is amazing. Comic Book Guy is probably one of my favorite characters on the show. Anytime they mention Star Wars, so like the one with where they go see Cosmic Wars, the prequel, which is a big nod to the episode 1 hype at the time. Itchy and Scratchy in the movie's another good one. A lot of the early seasons. Stark Raving Dad. That's the one with Michael Jackson. I actually do really like that one. Mrs. Lisa Goes to Washington. Another great one. Got me to realize how kind of fucked up the system is. But yeah, there's a couple great episodes. But if I were to name my favorite episode, this might sound weird because not many people talk about this episode, like at all. But it is my favorite episode. Is Bart the Lover from season 3. If you guys don't know what that one's about, it's about when the kids are all about the yo-yo shit. Yo-yos are trending through the school. Bart gets his yo-yo taken by Mrs. Krabappel, but then he finds out that Krabappel's trying some sort of dating ad on the newspapers. This is before the internet, folks. This is before Tinder. But Bart poses himself as a guy named Woodrow Wilson. And the whole episode is... It's not just funny because, like, on top of just like some really good jokes, but also Homer is at his funniest in this episode. Like, he is like, because he's literally swearing. The whole thing about the swear jar. That's one of the funniest montage gags I've ever seen on The Simpsons. But the reason I love this episode is because it is probably the most emotional out of all I've seen. Like, there are times I've gone back and watched it, especially after the actress who played Edna Krabappel passed away a couple of years ago. She was stellar in that. Like, she really acted her ass off in that episode. It is sad. It is really depressing, but like there is a hope at the end of it. Like, it's a very nice poetic episode. I found Bart and Krabappel's like relationship as either student teacher / friends is one of the most like, you know, emotionally investive of the series. Like, sure, they have their you know, matches. They're sort of like they butt heads a few times. But, you know, they both legitimately have a good bond with each other. And it's one of the most emotional, like, parts of the series. So, for me, that is probably my favorite episode. It is just, especially now that the voice actress is gone, it just hits a lot harder nowadays. Is probably my favorite episode. Let's see here. Are you planning to go to G-Fest in the future after this year? Yeah, it'll depend on how Josh is feeling. Like, if Josh likes it, he'll definitely probably want to go back again. So we'll definitely plan a proper G-Fest day. And we've been thinking about getting a booth at some point. Getting a booth, selling some merch. In fact, okay, little underground thing here. Might be selling some merch at the event. There's some buttons, like limited buttons I might sell that we have left over. But then we also have a couple of copies of Kong, or our Kong remake, on VHS. Probably going to charge about $5 a tape, $5 to $10 a tape. But if you guys want to buy one, your contributions will definitely help the show, help our budgets, and help our funding. But we're going to do that sort of underground. We don't know if we're allowed to sell merch outside of the dealer's room, but just let you guys know, I'm going to bring some copies. If you guys want one, hit me up and at the event, and we'll get you one, probably on the Sunday. But yeah, we really appreciate it if you guys did that on that level. But we do plan to come back. South Park is also good. I do like South Park. Let's see here. Night to Remember 1958. I have. It's really boring. Rank the Friday the 13th movies. I have not fully seen all those, if at all. I've only seen really the Freddy movies and Michael Myers. What are your top kaijus other than Kong? Because that's obvious. I mean, Godzilla, Rodan, Gorosaurus I really like. I'm a big defender of Gorosaurus. I'm trying to think of some other kaiju. Love Clover. Cloverfield's a great monster. But those are the essentials. Those are the essentials for me. It's like Gorosaurus, Kong, Godzilla, and Cloverfield. Those are probably my favorites. Mechagodzilla as an antagonist. Gigan. I really like Jet Jaguar. Love those guys. Space Godzilla. That's another good one. Really like Space Godzilla. Have you planned to make another project similar to Kong in terms of size and scale? Ready Player One, the retrospective, is probably going to be the closest for a while, Kaiju fan. And just in comparison, I don't know if I think I've told this before, that Ready Player One, all 3 parts, are my most expensive labored production to date. Just in comparison, Kong was 2.5 hours and cost $4,000 and 6 years to make. This was about a decade in the making, kind of thrown in 2018, so actually less time than Kong did, almost about the same amount, about 5 or 6 years. It was very labor intensive. We had to deal with a pandemic, and it cost me $8,000, twice as much as Kong. So if you want to see what my next project, this big project was, go look up the Ready Player One review. We do plan to do a storyline compilation that kind of splices all the storyline parts of that particular episode as a movie. But we have no plans to release it yet. And that's another thing I should make a mention. For those expecting who are going to ask, when's the next season? So here's what I've ultimately come up with, is that we're going to just film the first bulk of the season. And once we have enough episodes, like at least 3 or the first 5 episodes, once we have those ready to go, we can start announcing release dates. Now, this means anniversary dates are going to be missed and so on, but we're still going to review this anniversary stuff regardless. It's just, I'm starting to realize that it's a couple things why it's going to take a little bit. Is because, 1, I'm still writing scripts. 2, a lot of what I used to do in pumping out these videos, I can't really do much anymore in terms of just like how much I can do a day. So it is taking a tad longer to do, but also it's people's times. We're working with a lot of people. We're still working with a crew, and they are needed whenever. So there is going to be just videos are done when they're done for right now. But it's okay, because we're going to have a bulk load of episodes, and we're going to try to have them released week by week, because that'll make things a lot smoother, and that'll actually generate more revenue. But we are still going to pump out videos, but not just the review show, because we're really wanting to focus on it a bit more and really prep it proper and make it look nice. It's gotten there. Like, we're filming right now, but we don't have a release date as of yet. Hey, Jack, will it be cool if Warner Brothers made a No Way Home style movie with the MonsterVerse? So, like, have different multiverse Godzillas and stuff? Be interesting. They can do whatever they want. I don't know what I'd think about it. I'd have to see once they come out. What will your take on Ready Player One be if you had the chance to remake it with a big budget? Definitely add more from the book in terms of battle sequences and rights and IPs. But here's the thing. Like, people ask me this question, almost like my redos are too cheap to make and too expensive to do, which they are in terms of concepts. But you got to remember, too, is that people ask me this all the time. If you had the amount of money, how would you do it? How would you go about it? To be honest, if, say a studio offered me the money today, I would actually, believe it or not, decline for multiple reasons. 1, the concepts I have, they would not properly do justice. The second reason is, look at Hollywood right now. Look at how bad it is. Look at how many things are flopping, because the studio executives, the shareholders, the focus groups, they're making the calls. They're the real directors of this. The directors that you see in these movies are just puppets. They are just the shell. That they aren't the inside core of what choices are in making movies nowadays. They're just the shell who are paid to do their job. And at this point, the director really has no creativity and control. So nowadays, it's more, focus groups and corporate greed that are running things, and based on trends and what's hip and cool with the kids, and what's number one trending on Twitter and stuff. And it's like, I don't like this way of Hollywood. It's Peter Jackson has felt the same way, that after The Hobbit, he saw right away where it was going. He said, I'm done making big movies now. So I'm kind of following suit. But this is what's so special about YouTube and online filmmaking, is that you're able to do this stuff without dealing with major studios. Sure, they might have the money to back you up and make it proper, but you gotta remember too, is that there's an exchange there. They're going to give you that money to make your project, but then they have the deciding vote about what they want in it, and it could conflict and ulterior your original vision. So if somebody asked me, could you make Kong today? Could you do Ready Player One today? I would decline, because I know that Hollywood would probably just say, okay, well, we like your script, but we want to add this because the cool kids do this. So can you put that in the movie? If not, we're going to cut your funding. Oh, well, we have to have a female lead be stronger than the main hero. Nobody likes the main hero anymore. And we're not going to explain how. So if you don't do that, we're going to defund the movie. It's like, I don't like that. I don't like focus groups and corporate and commercial greed running things. So what's great about, sure, I don't have the same amount of money as most filmmakers would, but I'm trying to show also, you don't need $200 million to make something. You don't need 10 million. You don't need 5 million. You don't even need $1 million. You don't even need 100,000. You could make it on the shittiest budget and still put out something interesting and quality, because of the way technology is more accessible, the way things are run, the way some people are willing to volunteer for projects if they believe in the vision enough, is sort of my stand with this whole question I'm given, is that I would love to, if they let me have full creative control, but they won't, so I'm gonna have to decline. There's a question, like a question I get a lot is, if I had the money, would I? And the answer is probably no. I would probably just not take the money and make it on my own terms. Sure, it's going to be cheap, but it's going to be a better written product. So there's my status on that. Did you hear Jurassic Park games that were on Nintendo platforms are coming to modern day? Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting. Is the arcade coming? If the arcade's coming, then you might have my attention. A top 10 favorite Godzilla movies. If you want to know, Cooper Alter, you can check out my top 10 goddamn Godzilla movies list. Did that with my Halloween special last year. So go check it out if you want to know my favorites. Have you ever been on the King Kong encounter? If you do a video, have a video on it. I have reviewed the King Kong encounter. I unfortunately never got the experience. You can find it in season 2 of my show. I never got to experience it because I didn't step into Hollywood and go to LA until 2010, 2 years after it burnt down, but 360 3D had just come out. So I did get to experience that. I did do Confrontation twice as a kid in the 90s at Universal Florida. So that is the closest I would get to that. Have I seen any one-off slasher movies? The Descent I liked. God, I'm trying to think. Does Sweeney Todd count? Because I didn't mind that. Joker, I don't know if that counts. Slasher movies are kind of hit or miss for me. I like Halloween. That's the one I really like. Thoughts on the Heisei Gamera movies? I think it is the best of Gamera, much like Godzilla, because I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm not a big fan of Gamera. I think he's kind of silly, and also it's a little too kid-friendly for me. Do I want to see him fight Godzilla? Absolutely. I would love that. But am I going to review and watch all the Gamera movies? No. I like the Heisei trilogy, and I like the original, and that's the closest I'm going to get. I'm curious about this anime series, but I'm going to stick with the original and the Heisei films trilogy, and that's it for me with Gamera. That's as much as I can take. Still waiting for a Mothra solo film. Yeah, I've actually had the pitch of doing a Mothra movie in the MonsterVerse. What I would love to do is set it in World War II. And set it where it's in England or occupied Germany. And literally, how is it we haven't done a kaiju flick that's just kaijus versus Nazis. You know, like how amazing, how cool would that be to see these monsters take care of business with Germany? It'd be amazing. Like, I know with Godzilla -1, it takes place in, I think, a month after the Hiroshima bombing, if not a little more, like 1945, 1946, right after the Japanese surrender, and basically Godzilla comes in as a salt in the wound to their defeat. And on top of that, you know, it's almost like he wasn't created through the nuclear radiation. He was awakened, where he's just getting out of the ground like, who the fuck woke me up? I am mad! And I love how mad he looks. He looks pissed. It's like, who woke him up prematurely? So what I wonder is something Josh and I talked about, is like, what if you have not only, because now we're in America-occupied Japan. Like, the American military is going to have to deal with this, but also, do you think they'll let what's left of the Japanese army help in joining forces as an alliance in an alternate history? Would Russia get involved? Would Stalin come in and say, hey, we didn't make that, but we'll help you fight? Would all allied forces of the world come together to defeat this threat? That's what I'm curious about, is how they're going to play off a right after World War II political move. And so, you know, I mean, are there any pockets of Germany left that would be willing to assist? Like, imagine Godzilla versus the Luftwaffe. That'd be awesome. And Godzilla could just go to town with those guys and fry their asses up. Like, I would love that. But we'll just have to see when the movie comes out, when we see more trailers. I am excited for it. But yeah, like, I want to see more MonsterVerse films set in different timelines. Like, I want a Rodan movie set in the 80s as a Top Gun movie. Top Gun with Rodan. Let's do that. That's what I want. What are your thoughts on Ang Lee's Hulk? Boring as shit. I'm sorry. I saw that in the drive-in when it came out, and I'm normally up all night at these drive-in movies. I fell asleep. It was one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my life. It is so boring. I'm sorry. If you like it, you like it, but I was bored to death of it. Does BigJackFilm have any lost media? Yeah, actually, there are many lost films that I did produce that have since been lost to time. Some never made it to the internet. There was a Kong remake I did on an old crappy DVD cam with a bunch of toys in my room. And since, I remember liking it when I made it, but since then it has disappeared. It has been lost. The disc was either lost or the files were corrupted. There are a couple of videos that I made in my early days of YouTube that have been lost, mostly due to either my own decision to remove them, but also because of hard drives and everything. Mainly I removed them because they were kind of cringe and I didn't like them. Like, I remember probably 2 months before Dragon Ball Evolution came out, I was actually kind of excited to see it. I wanted to see some new Dragon Ball. I wanted to see Hollywood adapted. I've been asking for this for eons. And I was one of the people trying to say, can we just give it a chance? That was the first time I saw pre-release hatedom on the internet, and I didn't know how to handle it at the time. And I was just like, oh my God, can I like something, please? This is early internet. And I was not proud of that video, so I just deleted it completely. There was a parody of You Know What's Bullshit that I did that was about like paying extra money to see 3D movies. It was just me catching trends, it was in my early days being very experimental and trying new things online that, to be honest, I'm just not proud of. I'm not proud of those videos, and I'm glad they're gone. But yeah, there's some videos and films I've made that are just, you'll never see them. They will never see the light of day, ever, ever, never, ever, ever, ever. So there's that in terms of just, you know, any Big Jack Films lost media. Hey, Jack, do you watch Filmmaster Adam Is? I don't know who that is. Okay, so I guess we can talk about Flash spoilers. What do I think of the George Clooney cameo? I actually didn't mind it. I actually thought it was cool to kind of redeem George Clooney because, you know what? I don't mind Batman and Robin. I think it's not a dark Batman movie, but it's a fun Batman movie. And I thought George Clooney was okay. He really got down the billionaire playboy version of Bruce Wayne quite well. And a little bit of the detective, but not too much. But he was okay. I actually didn't mind him. And seeing him in The Flash kind of redeemed him a little bit. It felt like they basically said, yeah, we know Ezra Miller's a liability, so let's just put him in the Schumacher universe, aka the Batman world that nobody likes. And that's a shame because Batman Forever is a good movie. Will you take your Ready Player One if it's based on the book? Again, just take a few more elements from the book, but I wouldn't adapt characters because the characters in the book are assholes. How's Ready Player 2? I don't know if there's any updates on that particular production, if they're even going to do it. I do know the book is really bad because they constantly mention Sword Art Online. So the Vistara source, yeah, I know. I've actually been on that. I've been on the Peter Jackson remake lately, doing research for the next set of Kong reviews. So yeah, thoughts on Texas Chainsaw? I've only seen the first one, terrifying as hell. The other ones are complete crap. Thoughts on Godzilla -1? I've already said, really looking forward to seeing what that one entails. Will I do a review of Primal? This is one of those requested episodes I get a lot if I'm ever going to cover Primal. You know, if there's enough of a demand for it, I might do it. But if you want to push it further, definitely support my Patreon. By the way, guys, like little side segue, you know, self-advertisement. My Patreon, $1 more will get you early access to all of our content. But on top of that, there's a tier that's about 100, 150. If you put in, you can get a request episode. And if there's enough of a demand for Primal, I'll do it. Because, and you know, especially if there's money involved. That's sort of the thing with request episodes. What do I think of Airport 1970? Never seen it, believe it or not. If you were to make any scrapped Godzilla movie, what film would you make and why? My concept for GMK would be Anguirus and Varen. Canceled Godzilla movie. I want Godzilla 94, the Stan Winston Godzilla, because that was a step in the right direction for the Americans, but then Roland Emmerich came in and took a giant shit. So that's what I'd probably want to see. That or Godzilla versus Kong from the Heisei era. Have I heard of an artist named Matt Frank? Yes, I have. I know he does really good art. I don't want to get into who he is as a person. I've heard mixed things, but he is a very good artist. So there's that. Great, 100%. Hey, Jack, did you see the Yes, I have seen the teaser for -1. I'm excited. That's going to be probably the biggest question in the comments. So for those who have just come in, who ask about it, please, anybody in the chat, please redirect them and tell them I have already answered that question. Let's see. Holy crap. Let's see. Do you plan on reviewing the Lord of the Rings movie at some point? Yes. I can't say when, though. But there is plans. But one thing I will say, I think I'm going to talk about The Hobbit first. Unlike Star Wars, where you release them the way they were released in that order, the Hobbit trilogy is one of those prequels that I can actually be okay with reviewing first to lead up to Lord of the Rings, because a lot of people do bash that trilogy and say it's pretty much the Star Wars prequels again. I don't really think so. I think there's better quality. I think there's better storytelling. I think there's overall a better cohesive narrative than there is with the Star Wars prequels. So I'm not afraid to really talk about The Hobbit first before I get to Lord of the Rings. But that leaves me in sort of a stalemate where, do I talk about and reference Lord of the Rings in a review on The Hobbit before I talk about Lord of the Rings? I think I will more than likely just at the very end explain the whole connection to Lord of the Rings, but try to see them as cohesive on their own films that don't rely on Lord of the Rings in terms of just the overall narrative. Best action, Terminator, Judgment Day, best horror, Alien. Anyone? Funny enough, I've been on Terminator a lot lately. I've been watching a lot of retrospectives and stuff. Still a great series of movies, minus the last two. Do you think Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon should have won Best Picture instead of Gladiator? That's a tough call because both films are magnificent. Both films are great. Foreign language film, I'll give credit to the Academy. They at least gave it Best Foreign Language Film, which is probably the closest it would get, and Gladiator got Best Picture as a Western film. But yeah, it was pretty close. Thoughts on stitched together pictures? Don't know who that is. Thoughts on Godzilla -1 and his full... Yeah, I've seen it all. I'm excited. At the end of Kong, 40 years later, there'll be a fight between Kong helicopters on top of Caesar's Palace. Okay, interesting. I'm actually looking forward to see what you put out there. Godzilla, will he sacrifice to save Kong and Godzilla X Kong? Or have it the other way around. Have it where Kong sacrifices himself to save Godzilla. is what I would have preferred. Because, like, let Kong be in a couple of adventures and go back to focusing on Godzilla is what I would do. I think Kong should be very limited. It's here, Jack. Yes, I know. Godzilla. I'm going to get that all day. No, sadly, but Super Nintendo. See, why? Just give me the arcade game that I can play at home. Why is that so hard? Why is that so hard to manufacture in today's world? How the fuck can we not get this arcade game in home consoles? It makes no sense. The real Japanese God. Yeah, I know. Yep, there. Godzilla -1. Vegeta. Let's see here. Yeah, I would love that. They should make War Eagles. That would be a great movie. That I want to see. That's original. That's an old idea that never got made. Do that, Hollywood. When are you going to re-review King Kong 2005? That is going to happen, Henry, when I hit my 100th episode of King Kong reviews. We still have about 30 episodes to go before we hit that point. But the plan is when I hit the 100th episode landmark, it's going to be a re-review of the original, 76, and Peter Jackson. And that will be it. And then I'm thinking what I'll probably do after that is a whole marathon of the Asylum Kong ripoffs. Finally give them the treatment they deserve. Yep, Godzilla, and Gotsuki. Find it funny how also this -1 comes out right before G-Fest. VRX and IRX notice they look. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I'm not going to be a creative consultant on that. Have I played Jurassic World Evolution? I don't own new consoles, Bendy, so I can't judge them. I don't own new consoles. I don't play new games because they're just too expensive. Do you want to know who did this Framestone in the okay, interesting. Is that Andy Serkis' effects company? I think so. I've already answered that question. Criterion Collection box set? That'd be amazing. I buy that. Hey, Jack, I have to ask, since you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, what do you think of Dragon Ball Z Kai? My opinions mostly stem when I did my interview with Meredith McCoy for my 18,000 subscriber special. The best way I can say it is that it is good. It is a much more condensed version of the series. It's good to see the Funimation voice actors back at it. It's good to see the Japanese stuff. I will admit, probably because of nostalgia, I prefer the original aired dub. Uncut, mind you, but I prefer those from like Ocean to Funimation and so on. Kai's only gripe I have is that Meredith did not come back, but she had reasons for coming back. If you have not seen my interview, definitely go check that out, Gavin. What happened was that the reason she did not come back was that she was actually in the Middle East, helping out refugees and so on. So, like, there, fan art, 18 fighting terrorists. Can somebody make that fan art, please? I would love that. That'd be amazing. But she was actually doing a lot of peace stuff with refugees in the Middle East. So she was unavailable to reach out for contact out there. So Funimation, because they were on a tight time crunch, they got Colin Klinkenbeard to do 18. And she was Intermocha and Rosario Vampire. So she took over, did a good job. Nothing against Colin. I think she did a really good job. But I was watching it like, it's not Meredith. And I'm glad she came back for Super. So I did watch Super for that. Thank you so much, Super Godzilla Vlogs. Really appreciate that. Already answered that. Why do you hate the canceled? I never said I do hate them. I will say they're kind of weird, and that's the part I'm kind of off about. But I do think Nicolas Cage would have been an interesting Superman. Yep, already answered it. I wish I was still going to G-Fest. My brother screwed me over by canceling my hotel tickets. That was a dick move of him. If you answered the second comment, I just meant this. Yeah, I've already said I like the design. I like where they're going with it. I like to think that the Schumacher is a variant of the Burton verse, since the Schumacher movies were once sequels to the Burton ones. Yeah, I think the Schumacher universe is in its own separate world. It's not related to the Burton stuff at all. I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but are the prequel reviews releasing next May? Can't wait. Cannot say. It'll all depend on the start of the next season. But I should say a little bit of good news. We are on production on that as well. Phantom Menace is about 90% complete. Attack of the Clones is about 25-30% finished, and Revenge of the Sith is about 40. So we're getting there. It's a slow process. I know it's almost like 6 years. Wait. But trust me when I say you guys are going to like what we do with the prequels. Have I seen the Sentai since you're a fan of Power Rangers? I've seen Kyoto Sentai Zyuranger, and I really like that one. After Earthquake, are the Towering Inferno and the Poseidon Adventure review a disaster movie chapters? I've never seen the Towering Inferno. I don't know if I have a copy or not, but I definitely do need to watch that just because it's John Gullerman. Poseidon Adventure, I have seen it and the remake. They're okay. I'm not that big into disaster movies. There's only a few that catch my interest. If I am going to review another disaster movie, it would probably be something like San Andreas or 2012 or something. You know, just something on that level, but nothing too significant. Before next viewers ask, Jack, yes, I have seen it. God, everybody, this is all about Godzilla -1. Oh, no, I am not covering Rings of Power. Fuck that shit. The most overrated movies you've seen. The Matrix. The Matrix is the most overrated movies of all time. I do not like them. What else is overrated? I feel. That's tough. Some of the Marvel movies are mostly a little overrated, I think. Like, they do have problems, but they're still good movies. Hi, J.R. Livingstone. Good to see you. Aliens was a great movie, even for the 80s film. Yeah, I loved it. I watched it recently. I loved it. And now I have to watch Predator 2 and then Alien 3. I'm doing good. Review Terminator Salvation. Okay, so I do plan to talk about Terminator. I should say that right now. I'm going to talk about all 6 films at some point, but that's going to be a while. But we do have plans. I can say I do have a story that I do want to tell that I think is going to be very exciting. But I will say this. In terms of, is there a script? Is there a process? Is there a production? To quote William Shakespeare, where is this Terminator review? It's all locked safe in here. It's all in here. So as long as this doesn't get damaged, you'll get those Terminator videos at some point. Let's see here. Wow. I did grow up with some of the books, but I mostly grew up with the show. The show was good. Here, Akira 2 could happen. Are they... Wait, really? Are we getting like a 40-year sequel to Akira? Okay, if it's the same filmmakers as the original Akira, I'm curious about that. How do you do a sequel to that? That movie was so fucking weird. Let's see here. You got to review Kong TNT? I haven't seen it yet. I haven't gotten the copy. Do you feel like eventually you might run out of Kong media to review? No, I've still got plenty to work with. I've still got plenty to do. I've got plenty of requests. I've got enough. It's just the thing is, remember, guys, I'm not the same reviewer I was 10 years ago. I was able to pump these out pretty fast, but now that I'm older, I'm getting a little slower in my age, but I do still want to make more of these. It's just they do take a little while to make because there is a lot to talk about. And plus, I'm a one-man crew, so it's hard to really get anybody who's willing to edit for free. So, yeah, there's that. Can I do a DVD collection of books? Someday, maybe. Someday for sure. Oh, wow, we're getting a lot. Wow, holy crap. Wow, comments are flying by like a motherfucker. Did you say you plan to review the Schumacher movies? Yes. But first I have to talk about Batman Mask of the Phantasm. That's on the list for the start of season 8 as well. Because not only do I want to review it in memory of Kevin Conroy, but also gives me a chance to talk about the animated series, which I love. I love Batman the animated series. So I'm basically reviewing each theatrical Batman movie in order of release. Question. What shows in the Disney era of Power Rangers should you watch? I watched mostly Dino Thunder, a little Mystic Force, because I actually will defend the theme song. A little bit of Wild Force for Forever Red, but also I didn't mind Once a Ranger from Operation Overdrive. Operation Overdrive is shit, but I did like that special to a degree. Yeah, it'd be cool. There is the commentary on the Shout Factory. There's a few commentaries. There's there's a commentary from Ray Morton. There's a commentary from Rick Baker. So if you want a commentary for 76, go check that out. Yeah, I saw the TikTok that you posted on YouTube Shorts. Thank you so much. Look, I'll just say this. For anybody who wants to use my media, my videos for satire, parody, YouTube poops, tribute videos, and so on, I am very flattered by that. I'm flattered by fan art and so on. Just feel free. I actually love it. It's free. It's free. For me, it's free promotion. Just as long as you don't just stream all my episodes and just pirate them is the only thing I will say. Just make sure when you're using my content, make sure it's different enough to where it's essentially fair use, which is what I do when I review movies. So play fair game here, guys. Hot take, first Bayformers films, any MCU movie. I'll say the first Bayformers movie and the third one's good. Everything else is kind of trash, except for the new ones. The new ones have been pretty good. Favorite Canadian cities? I'd probably say Toronto I still like, even though it is kind of a mess right now. Vancouver, I've heard nothing but great things. And probably, I'm going to say Montreal, because I went to a con there one time. Montreal was beautiful. What are your hopes for Godzilla Minus Zero? I hope to just basically go back to the tone of the original, which I like. You know what? I've been tempted. To talk about Harry Potter. It won't be a review of the movies per se, but it would probably be a top 10 list like my Back to the Future episode. Would probably be something I could maybe talk about. Can we trust about the Skull Island Disney? I don't know. There isn't much details left. I think that's just kind of halted. I don't know what's happening. There's a rule I have is that I don't have any expectations or talk about things until the cameras roll. Cameras have not rolled on that show, so I can't have any say about that. Seven Samurai. I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen it fully, but from what I've seen, it's a masterpiece of filmmaking. What's that image of you and Godzilla in the thumbnail from? That is from G-Fest, when I saw a really good Suitmation cosplayer. Is from G-Fest in 2018. Hey, Jack, I just want to let you know that I went to Comic-Con a few days ago and saw the actor play young Boba Fett and the person who worked at Hanna-Barbera. Oh, nice. Very good. What are you going to do more fan mail when I get more? I haven't gotten any fan mail in a couple weeks. So until I get more, I will do that. I love Batman Forever. Batman Forever is awesome. I do want to see the Schumacher cut. I'm curious because it looks like we might actually finally get it. Akita, not Akita. You mean Akira? Lol. Did you get a chance to play at least and see that Kong Skull in VR? I want to play it. It is everywhere. I do want to maybe even review it. I just got to get time to get some time to play it and get my thoughts. But let me get these out. Like, here's the thing. People are already piling up on requests, but I haven't even gotten the first 9 episodes done yet. Patience. Patience is a virtue. So there's that. Disney era is the only good Power Rangers era. Saban era is my favorite. Zordon era. Do you think The Dark Knight should have won Best Picture? Yeah, absolutely. Should have won. Out of all the comic book movies, it deserves it. Should the USA do its own Godzilla cartoon? We did. It's called the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoon, and it's kind of meh. I did like it, though. And also the 98 show. I did the same for the Saban era. Have you heard that there's going to be a Jurassic Fest in Windsor, Ontario? Really? When is that? Let me know the dates. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, it's just the cameras haven't rolled, so I have nothing to say about it. Alita too. Okay, Alita. Yes, I have heard about that. I am looking forward to that. But I do want to. I would love to see a sequel to Akira. That'd be amazing. A YouTube poop of you was amazing. Yeah, more of those, please. Those are hilarious. Alita 2 would be. Yep. Okay. So I just want to let you guys know we're at the 50-minute mark. I'm gonna answer 3 more questions, then we're gonna call it. But and I'll just do a recap of what our plans are for G-Fest. So first question. Love the George Carlin Thomas the Tank Engine dubs. Thank you. I guess the question is, I'll just make this as an extra question. The last one. I do have plans. I just got to find time to film it. I haven't had time. So once G-Fest is done, I'll be able to reorganize a little bit more. So just stay tuned. Revenge of the Fallen is my favorite. Oh, I don't like that one. I hate to say it, Toku Punk. I did not like that one. All right, so 3 more questions. This is did you know that doesn't count? Is there any other King Kong books you want to get you haven't had yet? Oh, that's a tough question. I think I've pretty much the girl with the hairy paw. I do want to get a copy of. But the one I'm mostly seeking is there was, when 76 came out, a manga released adapting the film. And I've only seen a few very low quality copies of the pages. And it is so hard to find. That is the one I seek nowadays. But outside of that, I'm pretty good. I've actually obtained a lot of the original scripts. I have a script for 33. I have a script for 76. I have a script for King Kong Lives. I have a script for the Peter Jackson film. I got a lot of them coming in now, which is great. Posted BigJackFilms on Threads. Oh, really? Okay, yeah. By the way, guys, I'm on Threads now, so go check that out. All right. Let me find a really good question here. It's question number 2. Wow. I can't really. There's some here I just don't know how to answer this. Oh God, are there 3? No, that's terrible. That's not counted as a question. Let's see here. You know, I haven't played the game yet. Aryan. I have the first game. I just haven't had time. If I'm gonna start playing it, I'll probably stream it. Okay, this is a good question. Have I ever watched 1995's Casper? Not only does it have decent James Horner score, but some of the CG animators previously worked in We're Back. Only former movie way less. I love 1995's Casper. That was one of my childhood movies. I love that film. That's a great movie. One of Universal's most underrated. James Horner's score is fantastic. The direction is very nice. The cast is great. The effects are fantastic. What a great adaptation. It was right on the heels of them, I think, also doing the Flintstones. So they were on a roll doing those live action movies. They did a better job than anything Disney would do. I didn't mind Casper. I might cover that maybe someday. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a very long time. Okay, let's get one more question. That doesn't count. I do know about Batman Triumphant. Okay, let's see. Final question. Okay, August 5th. Okay, I'll check that out. I'll see where that's all about. Holy crap. Let's see here. Okay, so last question, and this is gonna go to Osiris. Will there be anybody else with you at G-Fest? Yes, if you guys saw my announcement video, I will be mostly hanging out with Sean Wick of GT's Reborn, my buddy Josh, who's driving me, the MGamer64. You have seen him in a couple of my videos. He was our Han Solo and a lot of the Star Wars stuff. He was in Power Rangers as the Blue Ranger. He's in a couple of videos. He's got his own YouTube channel, which you guys should definitely check out. Really good guy, wants to get back on it, but he will be at G-Fest with me. It'll be his first time. So everybody, please welcome him with open arms. And also, Billy DeBoss, who did Godzilla Battle Royale, will also be there. Now, no promises, but I did invite a guy I know named Jim J. Ross to G-Fest, who, funny enough, he works at Channel Awesome. He's friends with Doug. I have told him about this convention if he's going to make it. I don't know yet, but if he does, that will be wonderful. Jim is a really nice guy, huge Kong fan. So that's going to be sort of our iffy group. But that's sort of where we're at. But that's going to be it for questions. Now, I should point out for those, before we sign off, I just want to say that just a little recap of what we're doing for G-Fest. So just to clear up, I will be there mostly all of Saturday and half of Sunday. I don't count on me being there Friday because we're coming in Friday. We're either going to be there on Friday late afternoon or at night at 2 o'clock in the morning Saturday. That is because Josh might be working. If he is not working, we're going to drive first thing in the morning. If he is working, we're going to be driving at night. It's an 8-hour drive from Ontario to Chicago. So we'll be there. We'll probably miss out on the Kong 90th anniversary panel, which sucks. but I'm coming regardless. So there's that. Now, I should also point out, because we are on a bit more of a tighter schedule on my end, may not have much time. I mean, I'll interact with fans as much as I possibly humanly can, but my main goal will be white-knuckling, filming videos. So when we're filming, when the cameras are rolling, don't be like, Big Jack Films, I'm a big fan. Don't just have some composure, but that will be sort of my main goal. I'll get time to talk to fans when I do. However, I do, once again, want to invite fans who are coming to G-Fest to participate in the end of the Jurassic Park Legacy episode. I want to get a whole group of us singing a big musical number at the very end as the camera dollies out. It's going to be outside the convention building, probably. We'll have a meetup. I'll direct you guys, and we'll make this all work. We'll do a couple of takes, but it'll be really fun. Really looking forward to seeing you guys all there. I will be bringing merchandise underground, VHS copies of my movie, buttons, and so on. I'll sign autographs. I'll take photos with you guys. I'll be there, but I am mostly going to be working. So this is just bear that in mind. But I am looking forward to seeing all of you there. Really appreciate it. So again, thank you guys so much for just sticking around for this quick little live stream before we go to G-Fest. I'll see you guys there. But don't forget, support our Patreon. Just more. We'll get you early access to all of our content as well as other special features. Super chats are always welcome. Donations are always welcome. Fan mail is always welcome. And tune in soon. I'll see you guys at G-Fest. There's not going to be much videos for the rest of the week. Only because, but I do have a few already prepped, ready to go for the following week in case I'm a little behind. But yeah, I can't wait to see you guys all at G-Fest. So until the next video, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is Big Jack Film signing off, saying good night. I'll see you guys at G-Fest Saturday and Sunday. This is going to be fun. Take it easy. And yes, I know about Godzilla -1, and it looks great. Bye!